Hey, I'm Jamal Spencer. Welcome to the 13 Vault. We dig through the stacks of tapes in the basement and share the interesting blasts from the past with you. Like this special. Tee off with us as we look at the 1988 pro contenders in golf taking part in the West Michigan PGA tournament. Keep your eyes peeled for a hole-in-one.
As if there were any doubt at all, Billy Casper, the winner of the 1987 Greater Grand Rapids Open.
WZZM TV 13 is proud to bring you the Greater Grand Rapids Open Highlight Show, featuring last year's winning strokes and a look at this year's pro contenders. Tonight's coverage is brought to you by Rogers, Dr. Pepper, the Michigan Housing Corporation, Remax, Duttler Ford, StarCraft, Subaru, National Correct Color, Dan Pfeiffer Lincoln Mercury, and Old Kent Bank. Now, here's your host, Bob Trimble.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the beginning of TV 13's extended coverage of the 1988 Greater Grand Rapids Senior PGA Tournament. I'm Bob Trimble. Tonight, we'll take a look at what has transpired thus far at the Grand Rapids Elks Club course in preparation for this weekend's three-day event that runs tomorrow through Sunday, 54 holes in all. And to start things off, let's initially look at the two-day Pro-Am, which began yesterday and concluded late this afternoon. Now, what a contrast between the 2 days as we look at Chichi Rodriguez right here. Yesterday, flat out hot and muggy with an official high of 98 degrees, while today with the storm front moving through, highs around 70 with plenty of gusts of wind. Today's final scores after those 2 days of play pretty much reflect the difference. The groupings not shooting nearly as well on this Thursday as they did the day before. Taking a look at the top finishers in the Pro-Am, the group headed by pros Billy Maxwell and Ben Smith, winding up a two-stroke winner over two other groups with a 29 under par total. The winning team including amateurs Livingston, Thays, Veldhoven, and Lyle. Then tied for second place with a minus 27, Jerry Barber and Bob Bolt, along with fellow seniors Gardner Dickinson and Dick Howell. Now, speaking of the Pro-Am, one of the more ironic set of circumstances put two gentlemen together today in the same grouping. The first senior touring pro, Dow Finsterwald of Athens, Ohio, which, by the way, is where I went to college at Ohio University, and amateur Dow Huffman of Louisville, Kentucky. Now, nothing too unusual there until you look at their first names, Dow, of course, spelled D-O-W, and the fact that the 30-year-old Huffman was, in fact, named after the senior pro by his mother, who knew Finsterwald earlier years while living in southeastern Ohio at the same time. Now, here in 1988, Mr. Huffman is playing as a representative of corporate sponsor Subaru, and completely through the luck of the pairings draw on Tuesday evening, he gets to play with none other than Dow Finsterwald. Talk about a thrill.
Well, no more so than for myself. I understand from Delaware, Ohio, and his parents were, and I grew up in southern Ohio, and no, I'm more thrilled probably than he is.
A lot of the players have told me over the last 3 years that they've felt that as far as hospitality and the way the media has treated them and just generally that this is one of the nicer stops. Do you agree with that?
Oh, I'd certainly put my vote in the affirmative, you bet. The JCs do a tremendous job, and the galleries that come out are most hospitable, most courteous. It's really just a great stop.
My mother knew him a number of years ago, and she liked the name. And that's how it stuck with me. They kind of grew up in the same area. And I've never met anybody with the name spelt the same way. And it was real fortunate to always know that this is where I got my name from and to play with him. He's a great golfer.
Do you have any expectations of playing with Dow? I mean, I would think this is something that you might have thought about in the back of your mind before, but now to actually have a chance to do it, I would think it's going to be a real big kick for you.
I'm only worried about dribbling one off the first tee. Other than that, it'll be okay. We'll be all right.
Like they say, it can mean just about anybody on a golf course. You know, organization is obviously a very big part of any golf tournament. Most people think of these events as 3 or 4 day affairs. The golfers come into town, play a few rounds, and head out on to the next city. Well, that is simply not the case. Dave Whitford now takes a look at some of the behind-the-scenes preparations for the Greater Grand Rapids Open.
What does it take to put on a golf tournament like the Greater Grand Rapids Open? Well, start with people, and plenty of them.
We average about 700 to 800 volunteers who donate about 2 days apiece on each volunteer.
And that's just the week of the tournament. There's plenty of preparation before that.
That's correct. We've had monthly meetings ever since last September with the executive committee, and then about a month to a month and a half before the tournament, then we're down to weekly meetings as far as the executive committee goes.
The committee certainly doesn't run short of topics during these meetings, from caddies to parking to golf carts, even to porta-johns. Organization is the magic word. With more than 25,000 spectators expected to venture out to the Elks Club this week, the volunteers will have their hands full. At this point, everything that can be done to make the tournament run smoothly has been done, and it's just a matter of letting things happen. And if the last 2 years are any indication, things pretty much happen as planned. Now, all the planning and organizing in the world won't make a golf tournament successful unless the course is up to par, so to speak. With this summer's weather having been so hot and dry, many golf courses have had a tough time. Harry Schumann is the new course superintendent at the Elks this year, and he says for the most part, things look pretty good out there.
Well, again, with the weather, you've got stress areas, and it's up to us to try to eliminate as many of those stress areas as we possibly can. And we try to do that, but obviously we can't get them all.
If you were fortunate enough to play the Elks course earlier this summer, then you know how the course will be set up for this weekend. No special preparations or changes have been made, and apparently that's fine with the players.
So far, they've liked it. They liked it pretty nice. Again, the greens are real smooth, and they seem to like it so far.
Roll in lots of birdies.
We hope so.
What kind of score do you like to see? Do you feel bad if they come out and shoot minus 20 or something, or?
No, the golf is tough enough. I don't think you should make it, trick it up for anybody. It's too tough. To keep concentration for 4 hours to play golf, it's pretty hard. So if they can shoot 25 under, great. It's more power to them.
And for the third year in a row, TV 13 will broadcast the final 2 rounds of the tournament on Saturday and Sunday. It takes a staff of 65 people to get everything ready and on the air, and it's the director's job to coordinate everyone's effort and make a show out of it.
Be in the truck directing the show, directing the camera coverage of the golf. We're also going to be putting in the commercials and a lot of the graphics and things from the studio, but I'll be directing the camera coverage from here.
We were out here earlier in the week, and all the cables are out and everything. No problems with that.
Yeah, everything's going as smooth as it could be. We're going to have 10 cameras and about 35 or 40 microphones, and we'll have the thing pretty well covered. The weather's the only thing we can worry about now.
I knew we'd get around to that. Although the storms last night and this morning have left the course kind of soggy, the weather looks fine through Saturday. Then it looks like another chance for rain Saturday night with some clearing and warmer temperatures on Sunday. But of course, as always with Michigan weather, that's subject to change. I'm Dave Whitford.
Thanks, David. When we come back, a close look at one of the new activities during Open Week, the inaugural Alros Steel Shootout. And welcome back. Greater Grand Rapids Open Week Year 3 began at the Elks course on Monday morning as 53 players teed off in search of 5 spots still available in the 72-man GGRO field. Now, 18 holes were played in bright sunshine and extremely warm temperatures, quite reflective of the summer of '88 here in West Michigan. The 5 qualifiers had to be additionally narrowed down from a group of 6 because 3 golfers wound up tied after 18 holes with 1 under par rounds of 70. The player on the bubble and ousted in that playoff was James Hatfield of Bella Vista, Arkansas. More on him in just a moment. 51-year-old Don Kimbrough of suburban Chicago was the man to beat with the day's lowest score, a minus 467, which included 4 birdies. Now, joining Kimbrough as a Monday qualifier were Philadelphia's Dick Hendrickson and Denny Felton of Hickory, North Carolina, who fired 2 under 69s. Also, the 2 winners in the playoff, Robert Rollins of Dallas and Louisville's Don Regazio. Now, since Monday, Hatfield and Ray Bialo have been added to the field with the dropping out of Peter Thompson and yesterday popular Bruce Crampton for personal reasons. Moving to Tuesday, the late morning saw interest around to the back of the Elks clubhouse to the practice tee, where for the 3rd consecutive year the pros put on a clinic. Now, defending champ Billy Casper arrived a bit late, but did make it in time, while trick shot master Bob Brew of Milwaukee put on the brunt of the show, and believe me, it was a show. I mean, this guy could do things with a golf club that most will only dream of. The best part, though, of the Brew presentation was his use of an odd array of clubs that are, well, not too normal. One's a glorified cane, another is a chain link iron. He even addresses the ball backwards with an iron, all the while with pinpoint accuracy and emphasizing that the golf swing is one continuous fluid motion.
Well, that's part of my clinic, is that the body parts are not that important in playing golf, that they are a result of swinging the golf club, never the cause. The golf swing is a continuous motion from start to finish, and that's what I believe in and that's what I teach. And I like the crowd to leave with something that they're trying these things. You know, there's nothing right about what's wrong. And when I see a member working on something, I ask them, if you can exaggerate what you're working on and it gets worse, it can't be right. The principles in golf, you can't overdo what's right. The best you can do is attain it. You can't go beyond it. Every question is important to the amateur. They feel that these things are important, whether it's how you hold the club or swing it or take it back. I say that you swing the club back with the hands in one continuous motion from start to finish, and if you do that with a swinging motion, you'll have a perfect golf swing.
Following the clinic, the afternoon of relaxed fun continued as a new event was introduced to this year's Open Week. In the Alrose Steel Shootout, 10 pros competed over 9 holes, with 1 golfer eliminated at each flag, all in search of $10,000 in prize money. As Joe Kramer reports, it was a terrific competition, but more so, it was good old boy fun.
The large field started at number 10, where all but 3 made par. In the chip-off to break the tie, Bruce Devlin's pitch caught the grain going the wrong way, and he became the unfortunate first golfer to fade out of the picture. Jim Ferree rescued his round from under the trees at number 11. It was a round to watch as Harold Henning loses a chip-off out of the sand to Billy Casper. The difference, a mere 2 inches. At the par 3 12th, Gene Littler's drive wound up in the sand. His pitch traveled the width of the green, and the ensuing bogey sent Gene to the beach, the first victim of actual play. Some amazing recoveries highlighted play at 13, and with everyone making par, all 7 golfers went into the sand for the playoff. David Hill was the only one who forgot to remind his ball it had to roll to the hole. Bye-bye, local boy. The game's greatest putters were among today's group, and when 5 of them had to roll off the tie at 14, Orville Moody was looking for anyone to finish outside his putt. No such luck. Bobby Nichols drove himself into disaster at 15, wide left off the tee and flying the green with his 3rd shot. Despite a fine chip, his bogey 6 meant Bobby had to take the longest walk back to the clubhouse. With temperatures in the mid-90s, Lou Graham decided to play in the shade at 16. His trip from one hazard to another and the double bogey it produced left no doubt who was next in front of the air conditioning. With Walt Zembrisky birdieing 17, former GGRO champs Ferree and Casper faced off at 30 paces. Billy was pretty confident, rolling to within 2 feet. But Jim made the trip into the finals, holing his putt. And while Ferree staggered with disbelief, Casper threw the winning ball into the woods before humbling himself and extending congratulations. The final hole was won at the tee. Zembrisky drove out of bounds and then into the bunker. With a 2-stroke lead, Ferree simply had to hole a putt shorter than the $2,500 bill he collected for the victory.
That was a good one. I was hoping it would go in, but if it just got inside of Billy, I'd be very happy. You know, over a 30-year period of time, he's been one of the very best putters in the world, and my reputation doesn't go along those lines. So you don't really like to get in putt-offs with Billy Casper. With the good fortune I've had here, I feel good about playing. That doesn't mean you're necessarily going to play good, but you have good thoughts about it. It gives you a better chance to play well. Even today, that little old 16th hole was very good to me. I made bogey, but stayed in the game. And that's what the shootout's about, is staying in. So it was lots of fun.
Yeah, I played well today, except for the last hole. It's a tough little hole. Wind's against you, and you got to drive it out pretty good. You got to drive it out there pretty good.
Thank you, Joe. Looked like a good time. Now, checking the final results and prize money for the shootout, Jim Ferree takes home the top prize of $2,500. That ought to buy some more knickers and caps. Then it's Zembrisky, Casper, Graham, Nichols, Moody, Dave Hill, Gene Littler, Harold Henning, and finally, Bruce Devlin. Well, after this break, we'll take an up-close look at the 3rd leading money winner on the Senior Tour in 1988, Orville Moody, as well as chat with a pair of in-studio guests. So please stay with us. By far, 1987 marked senior star Orville Moody's best year as a professional golfer with over $355,000 in earnings. Well, 1988 continues to be good for Moody as he ranks third on the money list heading into tomorrow's opening round of the Greater Grand Rapids Open. Marty Fahey has this profile.
Orville Moody remains a favorite among golf fans, and he's on the money again this year, running up what would appear to be his best ever. Sarge, as he's known for his 14-year stint in the Army, is near the top of the Senior Tour money list with over $317,000 in earnings already this season. He's picked up 2 tournament wins this year and would like to make the Greater Grand Rapids Open his third. But no matter where he finishes, he says he likes to stop.
Well, I really like it here. I come every year, and the people here are really nice. I like the golf course, and the town's one of the best towns I think we come to.
Moody's coming off 2 disappointing finishes. At Syracuse last week, he finished 44th, and the U.S. Senior Open a week earlier, also a disappointing finish. He says he's tired and ready to take some time off after this weekend's 3-day event. And why not? He deserves it. Senior PGA statistics find that the 54-year-old Texan is leading in 5 of 10 statistical categories, including the most eagles, birdies, the lowest putting average, the greatest number of par breakers, and is second in scoring to Bob Charles. Moody also holds several Senior Tour records with the lowest score for 72 and 18-hole rounds. He gets some special help from his caddy, who happens to be his 18-year-old daughter, Michelle. She's the oldest of 4 children and travels with her dad during the summer months. But do they get along? Oh, you have family members that work together quite a bit. Sometimes that puts a strain on the relationship.
No, because I don't do that much, and if he gets mad, I just kind of clam up because I don't want to get him mad at me. So. Unlike
her dad, Michelle says golf's not in her future.
No, that's not for me. Too much dedication and work.
But she is dedicated and is her dad's #1 fan.
Right at it.
Yet sometimes she has to coax his work along.
Go in.
In a hole. In.
Yay!
Golf may not be her bag, but she's a straight shooter when asked why she continues to caddy.
Why should I let someone take money out of our family? Huh? I'm
makes
making
good money, I'll tell you, and she saves it too. I have to pay all the expenses and everything, so she gets to keep everything she makes.
And Dad knows she earns it. Moody, who readily admits he's having a run of bad luck with his putting of late, says Michelle has been a great help to him on the greens.
Because she can read the small breaks a lot better than she can read the big ones. So when we get on a golf course, something like this one, she helps me a lot because she reads the greens well. And
occasionally he gets upset by bad advice from a caddy. How does he handle that with his daughter?
When I've played golf for 50 years, and here I'm asking somebody, well, just take her, for instance. She's played golf for a couple of years, and I'm going to take her advice and blame her. I shouldn't do that, right?
Right.
Yeah, okay.
Moody spends much of his time on the road, away from his wife, Beverly, and their 3 other children. Yet he feels having Michelle at his side each week tempers his longing for home, but also seems to give him a psychological edge in play.
Oh, I think so. I mean, she keeps me calm at times when I don't get as upset as I normally do at another caddy, you know.
Well, you busted that one, didn't you, Dad? Come on.
Okay. Theirs is not the typical father-daughter relationship. Their little talks are not about boys, but of strategy. Critical decisions that can mean thousands of dollars. But even in the face of constant pressure, these 2 remain good friends and good teammates. I'm Marty Fahey.
Thank you, Marty. Well, as promised, I'm now joined by a pair of important cogs in the Greater Grand Rapids Open machinery. To my left, one half of the 1988 co-chairman duo, Wyoming Patrolman Mr. John Schelling, and to John's left, the new media director for the Senior PGA Tour, Tim Crosby. And I want to thank you both for coming by. And John, first thing for you, you and I have dealt with each other for the past 3 years. You were in operations and head of security. Now as one of the co-chairmen, along with Bruce Penton, I guess your role really has expanded, hasn't it?
Well, yeah, it expands every year, but that's the JC philosophy that as you go through, you get more involved. They want you to expand the role. And it's been a great experience for both Bruce and I.
Is it going as expected or what you wanted?
Yeah, it's going as expected. You know, today we dealt with the rain. It's the first time in the history of Charity Golf Classic, 11 years of this, and we get the first year of a rain out, but everything went well. I couldn't ask for anything better. Billy Casper, Walt Zembreski, Bobby Brew, Hakeem Barta went down and entertained some of the volunteers while we waited out the rain delay. The amateurs were great about it. We got 9 holes in for all the amateurs today, and so the weekend weather looks good, so we're excited about it, but that's all part of being, you know, the man in charge, and you just kind of deal with it.
You got it. That's right. Tim, for you, I guess you came on in May after the gentleman I dealt with the last 2 years, Glenn Greenspan, and I'm just wondering, from your point of view in the several days this week that you've been here, how you feel Grand Rapids is prepared organizationally, hospitality-wise, and I guess from we, the media.
I think today was a good example of the organization, because with the weather problems, everything that possibly could have gone wrong did, but they overcame that, and I think that's critical. I think the quality of the field is indicative of what the players feel about the Greater Grand Rapids Open. We have an outstanding field with all the key, just about all the key players here, and if they didn't enjoy themselves and if they didn't think it was a first-class event, they wouldn't be here. So, John, you folks have done a great job.
Thank you.
And then media coverage-wise, I mean, I think one of the good things about it is that we try to do maybe as much, if not more, than a lot of the other cities in between newspaper and TV and the radio folks. And I know we enjoy covering it. I hope it's the same.
It's great working with you guys, and I'm not just saying that. You've done a great job. The media room setup is the most spacious that I've been involved with yet, and the interest. Pre-tournament interest is good or better than anything I've seen. So we haven't even started yet, and you guys are on top. So that's pretty good.
Besides the weather problem that happened today, I'm wondering, have you been thrown any other loops? I mean, I guess what people want to know is how long in advance it takes to prepare this, and I would think it starts, I mean, for next year we'll start as soon as this one's over.
It'll start as soon as this one is over. Bruce and I took over last year on Monday morning after the tournament ended. We've been at it 13 months. Really haven't been throwing too many curves. Everything's gone along as planned. We had some goals set for ourselves. We've accomplished those goals. The one goal that I'm looking forward yet to is I want 40,000 people out there this weekend, and if the weather cooperates, everybody comes out and joins us. It's showtime. We're going to have a good time out there this weekend. They might as well all come out and join us. You know, instead of sit back and saying, God, I wish I would have been there, just come out there and enjoy it.
You going to try and keep doing it again?
Well, yeah, I'm going to stay involved.
There you go. Tim, last thing for you. You've been involved with the guys this year. Is any particular players stand out in your mind that really come across as doing the most to promote the sport?
I think it's a team effort, and that's one of the great things about our tour. A lot of these guys, most of these guys are the fellas who built the regular tour in the 50s and 60s, and they know what it takes to make an event or events like these successful, and they continue to do it. It's definitely a group effort.
Last quick thing. John and then Tim, what's the final score going to be?
211.
211. Which is under par?
13.
13?
14.
It's going to be pretty low, I think, because the moisture softened things up. I think it's going to be close to last year. I think we're looking close to 200.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much for coming by. John Schelling, Tim Crosby, see you all week. And when we return, I'll have a preview of what's in store from TV 13 for the rest of this week. Back in just a moment. Coming up for you right here on TV 13 beginning tomorrow, our Greater Grand Rapids Open coverage continues with Pro Talk, an hour-long live telecast hosted by Ed Phelps and myself, as we'll be joined at the Amway Grand Plaza Hotel in downtown Grand Rapids by numerous members of the Senior PGA Tour in a relaxed roundtable forum, if you will. You'll get a chance to see some of the game's greats away from the course in a more personal surrounding. That's Pro Talk tomorrow at 9 o'clock. Then on Saturday, our exclusive third year of live coverage of the final 2 rounds of the Open begins at 1 o'clock and runs to 4. Sunday, we conclude with final round action from noon to 3 p.m. or until the tourney's conclusion. That's, or I should say, thanks for joining us this evening. We'll see you tomorrow night from the Amway Grand Plaza Hotel. Good night.
The Greater Grand Rapids Open Highlight Show has been a special presentation of WZZM TV 13. Brought to you by Rogers, Dr. Pepper, the Michigan Housing Corporation, Remax, Duttler Ford, StarCraft, Subaru, National Correct Color, Dan Pfeiffer Lincoln Mercury, and Old Kent Bank. Join Bob Trimble along with Ed Phelps tomorrow night at 9 for more GGRO coverage on Pro Talk, live from the Amway Plaza Hotel. Stay tuned now for Morton Downey Jr., next on TV 13.
Glad you could join us for this 13-vault trip back to the world of sports in 1988. We hope you'll come back again for more travels through the tapes in the 13 Vault.